Hi, I'm Grant Waterfall. We're getting closer to the May 2018 deadline for compliance with the EU General Data Protection Regulation, or GDPR. With me today is Jackie Wagner, one of our privacy leaders. Jackie, let's start by talking about the requirement in GDPR for a data protection officer, or DPO. Do all companies require a DPO?
Well, I wish that was a simple answer. Unfortunately, it's not. Clearly under GDPR, there are some pretty specific requirements, right, around when a company needs a DPO. For example, organisations undertaking large-scale monitoring, organisations processing sensitive information, like healthcare data. So for many companies, right, it's clear you need a DPO. For many others, however, it's not so black and white. And we're really seeing our clients have a lot of conversations now around, do we need one? Do we not? But if we don't, should we have one anyway? Right? And that's really a strategic decision that organisations are facing now around, even if we don't, is it actually the right thing to do? Right? Does it demonstrate a level of compliance and awareness of the GDPR requirements by just putting this role in place? But it's not a black and white answer.
That makes sense. And many multinational companies already have this role of a chief privacy officer. So how do they reconcile the chief privacy officer with this requirement for a DPO?
Another not easy answer as well. I mean, certainly we've seen the role of the CPO evolve over the last couple of years, really to be quite a strategic role. It's not just about regulatory compliance, right? But it's really been about an enablement function, supporting the company as it moves into digital. It looks at new ways in which to use data. Now that's a little bit different to at least the technical requirements of GDPR, right, which are much more a regulatory mandated type of role. So again, it's really creating a lot of companies to step back and say, we have this strategic CPO role, we may or may not need this DPO role. How do we reconcile the two? And what do we need as the company moves forward? You know, and I think there's certainly a danger that companies might just put in place a DPO as a check the box type activity, right? And I don't think that's the right strategy, because again, you don't want to lose sight of that more strategic role that a CPO can play within the company.
That makes a lot of sense. And then what are the sorts of skills that a CPO and a DPO should have?
I mean, look, certainly in terms of understanding the regulation, right? That's very clear within GDPR. There's certainly a set of basic requirements, one being around expertise in European privacy law. Now that in and of itself seems simple, but that's going to be challenging, right? Because GDPR is going to create this volume of a need of DPOs that quite frankly don't exist today.
Right.
And at its core, it's certainly causing a lot of companies to look at, do we actually have the skill set and the capability to fill this with an in-house person today? Or actually, do we look outside? Can we outsource this role? So certainly that's one key decision point. But more broadly, it's really an understanding of the business, right? It's a connection to the business. It's understanding the strategic direction of the organisation. It's being across aspects like digital, like cyber, like data use, right? All of these things start to come together. So it's quite a broad range of skills as well in terms of strategic, but then also quite tactical too.
Great, thank you, Jackie. And thank you for joining us. We look forward to continuing this conversation on your journey to GDPR compliance.